Hello there everybody, I am Leo Wright, cartoonist extraordinaire of Leo Wright Studios. You can check out my tutorials on all of my social media platforms with lots of characters you may recognise. But here today we're going to do a very exclusive, simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy tutorial for you. Today we're going to be drawing a magical unicorn. To start with, get a very light pencil at the ready. We're going to press very lightly on the paper as we're going to be going over it in ink later. So, as always, I start by drawing a very simple circle. Make it very sketchy and light. This is going to be the unicorn's head. So we're going to draw a horizontal line and a vertical line splitting the circle up into 4 pieces. Now the reason for this is going to mark out where his eyes, nose and mouth are going to go. So just above that centre line, I'm going to draw 2 teeny weeny circles. These are going to be the eyes. And then we're just going to draw 2 little pupils, 2 very small ovular shapes just above. And now, from where the 2 horizontal lines meet the end of the circle, we're going to bring it down. This is going to be the elongated booth of a mouth. Like so. Where we've just drawn the nose, we're going to do some little love hearts as nostrils because unicorns spread love and magic to all. Just do 2 hearts like this. That looks beautiful. Now we're going to draw a mouth on the side. We're going to do this in a very like Shaun the Sheep fashion. It's just poking out the end. Like a sausage shape. Now we're going to draw a mini sausage within the big sausage. So that's his lips and his mouth. You can just shade in the smaller sausage in black. Okay. Now we're going to draw the unicorn's ears. All the better to hear you with. These are shaped like leaves. Kind of half circle, half triangle. And now he's got a mighty booth on the top of his head. Yes, it's the unicorn's mane. Remember, don't shade this in because we're going to colour it in loads of sparkly colours later. For this, just draw lots of curvy, spiky lines. And there we have the face of our beautiful unicorn. Now for the body. We're going to be drawing a peanut-shaped body, but it's not going to be as small as a peanut. It's going to be one big peanut. So, draw this like so. Kind of an archy, jelly bean peanut shape. I'm going to just draw one line going down just to mark the centre point of his body because he's standing at a bit of an angle. Now just draw the guidelines I'm drawing. This is going to mark out where his legs and his arms are going. You're going to have one hand on his hip, like so. And we're going to have one arm coming round, almost like half a coat hanger, and he's going to be sipping a cup of Costa coffee. So these are called guidelines. Press very lightly. We're going to be now adding a bit of extra detail in before we head on over to inking. I'm just going to use a darker colour pen for the sake of you being able to see what I'm doing very clearly. But don't press any harder. As you can see, I'm just using those guidelines and making them chunky. Just going to add on that hoof. And add in the Costa coffee cup. It's actually hot chocolate, I don't like coffee. I'm just going to add a bit of smoke coming out of the cup, you know, because coffee can be boiling. just adding two kind of sausage shapes down the bottom where his legs are going. Right, we've forgotten one very important thing on the top of all unicorns, and that's their horn. It's a very simple triangle shape with spirals on, like a helter-skelter. Right, we've now got all the basic parts of our unicorn down on paper. It's now time to get the inking ready. So, I would suggest you get some black ink, whether it be a Sharpie, a Pro Marker, a marker pen, but make sure you don't like lean on your best tray or something. So we're now going to start going over our very light pencil marks into the deep dark depths of the ink. You want a medium-sized thickness for your ink pen. Because if it's too light, like a biro, it'll look scratchy and amateurish. But if you use a really chunky pen, then you're going to miss out on all those little bits of detail. Remember, you can't rub out an ink pen. You've only got one shot at this. The inking stage should be the stage that takes the absolute longest, because if you get the inking wrong, the overall image will not quite look right at the end. Now it's time to add a few fun little add-ons. We're going to add on a tail like a slithery snake and add a bit of spikiness to the end. This unicorn has a lot of style, like me. He wears a bow tie. Now it's time to get that eraser at the ready, because we're going to rub out those pencil lines. Oof, I can do it just like that. Now it's time to get some colouring equipment at the ready. It's time to get colouring. So, what do I recommend you use for colouring? I would personally go down the lines of paint or ink. Now, ink can come in the form of a pen, so if you do want some decent pens, I suggest Pro Markers, because they don't leave any of those scratchy, fluffy lines that felt tips make. But for the purpose of this, because I'm drawing digitally for you guys, I'm going to use some digital watercolours. Now, just because he's a cartoon character, just because he's a little cartoon unicorn, does not mean we cannot add shading to him to make him feel more three-dimensional. I'm doing it in blue because grey does not match the personality of this unicorn. I'm going to add in a bit of red for the nostrils because they love hearts, and red is the colour of love. His mane is going to be multicoloured. Just plonk a bit of each colour we use on there. So I'm going to just put the primary colours in, blue, red and yellow. Because that's the way unicorns rock. The horn, I'm going to do purple. Eyelids, I'll do blue. You can colour these in any way you wish. His hoofs are going to be grey. Even a unicorn has a grey hoof. His tail is also going to be all the primary colours. So we didn't need that much colour for a unicorn, because when you think of a unicorn, you think of its white fur. So we've done half the colouring in already by selecting a white piece of paper. But what I normally do with a drawing is I'll add a bit of colour to the background to add a bit of depth. I'm going to use a nice orange for the background of this unicorn. Now I'm only going to shade him on the one side to almost act as if it's a shadow. This will bring the unicorn forward off the page. And there we have it. But no piece of artwork is complete. Not a single piece on earth is complete. And this is the thing that will make your artwork worth millions of pounds in the future. It's time to sign it! So go back to your ink pen and do as I just said. And there you have it. You're almost as magical as the unicorn we've just drawn. Splendid job, everybody. Remember, keep doodling.